Hello guys, it's good to have you once again. It is always a delight for me to always be in your face and to always come before you, you know, to impact one or two knowledge on you. Find it pleasurable. How are you doing? I know you are fine. Amazing. Okay, so like you already know, my name is Faith Abraham. I am the creative director, Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. All right, so what we do in Fashion Boss Innovations Academy, we teach anything or almost everything about fashion. Okay, but let's streamline it down to tutorials on YouTube. So on our channels on YouTube, we upload sewing tutorials. You know, we upload tutorials on headwears such as fascinator, heart making, turban making, autogele, beads making, anything that has to do with adorning of a woman's hair. We upload tutorial videos on them here in this on this channel, rather, including sewing tutorials. Okay, sewing tutorials of different styles and trending styles. Okay, so you have a lot to learn from this channel. Having said that, I will encourage you to subscribe. Do not go without subscribing. I want to say a very big thank you to all our subscribers. Thank you, God bless you, we love you. And to our intending subscribers, we say thank you. So if this is your first time, please, I encourage you to subscribe. Okay, and after tapping on the subscription button, please, for you to get tutorial videos or for you to get notified each time we drop videos, tap on the notification bell so you always be the first to get our videos each time they are dropped. All right, so in today's class, I want to teach us on how to draft a basic bodice, right? Basic bodice, well detailed, well explanatory. Okay, let us go into the cutting table. And so, like I already mentioned, we are here to draft a basic body, or to draft a pattern for basic bodies. Okay. The requirements you need for this drafting is, of course, your pattern paper. Okay, pattern paper or cardboard paper, whichever one is at your disposal. You need all of this, your rulers, you know, and that, and then most importantly, your basic body measurements. Okay, is very important. Your basic body measurements. So the measurements we'll be using for this drafting is shoulders is 16 inches, bust point vertically now is 11 inches. The circumference is 38, so it means from shoulder to the bust point area is 11, and then round about your bust area is 38. Okay, and then the waist measurement from your shoulder to the waist area where this pattern is going to get to, which is the length of this bodice we are drafting, is 16 inches. Now what we are about to draft is just from shoulder to the waist. That is also called half length. Okay, you can choose to extend yours to the hip areas. Okay, it all depends on how long you want the outfit to be, but for what we are drafting now, we are going to attach it to a skirt to make it a dress. Hope you understand. But if you just want just a blouse, a top, you will extend the length to wherever you want the blouse to get to. Hope you understand. All right, so let's get straight into it. So I have my pattern paper already folded into two. Okay, because we are cutting both the front and the back, you know, together, you know. So I've gone ahead to roll this area. So it means this is where our measurement is going to start from, you know, from the shoulders. So let's say this is our shoulder line where all the measurement is going to start from. So the next line we are going to take right now is the chest line. Now the chest line is also your armhole line. Okay, so how do we get this? I know a lot of people are familiar with 8 inches, okay, but you can be more accurate. All right, you can really be more accurate. For the benefit of this class, I'm going to use 8 inches, okay, but you can be so more accurate. And how do you get that? How do you do that? Because what I'm going to do, the division we are going to make, we see, land us on 8 inches. But peradventure you are working with a bigger, you're working with, a big, you're working for, or you're trying to draft a pattern for, a bigger person, somebody whose bust is like 44, 45, 46, 48, thereabouts. You have to do all of this step, even for a smaller person. Okay, so how do you get your armhole, which is your chest line? You divide your bust area by 6. Hope you get. If your bust is 40, 38, you divide it by 6. Whatever you get from it, you will add 1.5 to 8. Okay, you will add 1.5 to 8. So for the bust area, bust size we are working with now is 38 inches. If you divide it by 6, you're going to have 6 point something something, 33 thereabouts. Okay, so if you add 1.5 to 8, it will give you 8 inches, 8 point something something. So we are safe. Hope you get that right. So we are going to measure our bust line, upper chest, which is, of course, is also armhole area. Darts. Okay, and then our bust points, I said it was 11 inches. Okay, 11 inches. Now I'm going to come down by 0.5. I'm going to add 0.5 to 8. It's going to, so we are not using 11, but we are using 11.5. okay, instead of 11 we are using 11.5. that is for the bust point. Now the waist point, or the length right now, is for drafting like this, you do not really require under bust. Okay, so the length we are going to use, or the length of this pattern, is 16, but we are going to increase it to 17 for seam allowance. And so we've added 1 more inch to it. So we are just going to square up our darts. Right, and then we are going to label it. So this is our chest line, this is our bust line, bust points, and then this is our waistline. Right, okay. So on this neck area now, we are going to take our neck measurements, or create a neckline. Now this neckline is subject to what kind of neckline you want, if it's a V, if it's a sweetheart, if it's a round neck, and whatever. But for the benefit of this class, we are staying with a round neck, and the measurements is, the width now is 3 inches. So there are other ways you can also ascertain what amounts of, what inches, okay, you can use to create your neckline. So I think I'm going to do a tutorial video for us, so that you will be able to ascertain what amount of inches you can use to create a neckline, because this 3 inches now may not fit a plus size. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, this is just the conventional neckline size, but if you're making for a plus size, you may not be able to use 3. It's going to be tricky on the person's neck. So I'm going to do a video and teach us how to ascertain, what amount you should use for your neckline. So for the depth, we are also going to use 3 inches. Like we said, this is just a basic bodies. Okay, and then we'll connect. Our round neckline is created. So we are going to impute our shoulders now. Our shoulder, which is also known as back. Some people refer to it as back. You can call it shoulder or you can call it back. So the client's shoulders is 16 inches. So 16 divide 2. You divide the shoulders by 2. You are going to be having 8 inches. You also bring the 8 inches down here, which is the chest line. Okay? And then you connect. Alright? So at this point now, there is something we call shoulder slope. You know, the human shoulder from the neck down to the shoulder area is not straight. Okay? It's slanty like this. Okay? So in order for you not to have errors or not to have some excesses at that area, we usually deduct 1 inch here. Okay? Hope you are getting. And then you connect it to the neckline. This way. Right? This way. So the human neck is slanty, it's not straight. Okay, so this is very important. So we are going to create our darts. Okay, that is that thing, you know, you hold, you know, in front of your dress, even skirts. You apply it to almost every piece, skirts, trousers, you know, and all of those, because it brings out the fitting in some particular area. Now the darts for a basic body like this is very important. Okay, because it accentuates the bust area. That's actually one of the reason why we impute darts, you know, on our dresses. Okay, especially, you know, on the bust area. It accentuates the bust area. It makes it more pronounced and give it a lot of beautiful fittings. Okay, so to get your darts, there is something we call nipple to nipple. You can either call it nipple to nipple, you can call it bust apart, you can also call it distance between busts. Okay, so you know the woman body has 2 busts, so the distance between where the nipple of this bust is to the nipple of the other bust, that is what we call either bust apart, nipple to nipple, or distance between busts. So get that. So for this client, the distance between our bust area is 8 inches. Okay, so we are going to divide that 8 inches by 2 and add a 0.5 inch to 8. So if you divide 8 inches by 2, it's going to give you 4 plus 0.5, that is 4.5. And then you are going to mark it out here, 4.5, and then you connect. Okay, after connecting this line, you are going to come down by 1 inch on this line. There, you just mark it, and then come here and deduct and mark out 0.5 on this part, and then on the other part, which is here, you also mark 0.5. Now this measurement, this 0.5 is subject to the size of the person you are working for. For this size, this bust size 38, we can afford to do a 0.5, but the moment the bust gets to 40, 42, and we advise that you do a 3/4 of an inch, which is otherwise known as 0.75. okay, 0.75 is this line, okay, before you get to the 1 inch line. Hope you understand. For the purpose of the beginners, peradventure you're a beginner, you do not know how to calculate this thing, from here to this first line is 0.5. From this first line to this line is 3/4 of an inch, which is also 0.75. From here to here is the 1 inches. I'm also going to do a video teaching us how, you know, this tape rule is being used, or how well you can use your tape rule, how to understand this lines you have here. Watch out for it. Okay, So we've taken a 0.5, 0.5. So we are just going to connect it. Remember, we marked 1 inch here, so it is that 1 inch you are going to connect this line to right now. Okay, that way. So if you have watched this video up to this point and you've not subscribed, I want to encourage you to please kindly do. Okay, all right, so this is our dots. So right about now we are going to start imputing our horizontal measurements, which is also the circumferences of these areas. Okay, so we said the bust size is 38. Okay, so you're going to divide the 38 by 4. Okay, because this whole thing is, we have 2 pieces of fabric here. One is divided into 2, the other is divided into 2. That makes it 4. So we divide almost, you know, every area of our body by 4. Almost, I said not all. If you're making pants, trousers, there are some places to divide by 2. Don't forget this shoulder area we divided by 2. That's why I'm saying almost, not all. Please kindly note that. So the bust area is 38. If you divided 38 by 4, you are going to have 9.5 inches. Okay, so this is 9.5 inches. Okay, you can choose to make it 10 for, you know, ease. I actually advise that you make it 10 because it's just a basic body, you know, for ease, so it's not too tight. Okay, so let's make it 10, and then add a 0.5 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so like I always say, it's better to have excess than to be in short. If at the end of your sewing you discover that that you made the bust area 10 is a little loose, you can still hold like a 0.25 inch, quarter of an inch off it, and then you are very good and comfortable. But if you use exactly 9.5, in some cases it may be very tight. You know, you may have even added weight before you are done with, you know, making up the things happen. Okay, but it's always good to be safe than to be sorry. That's for that. The waist area we said is 30 inches. 30 inches divide 4, you are going to have 7.5 inches. Okay, so these are 7.5 inches. All right, remember we took 1 inch, you know, away from here. This is 0.5, this is 0.5, altogether makes 1 inch. We are going to add that 1 inch back, and then add a 0.5 inch for ease. Okay, and that is that. And then we are going to connect. We are going to first of all connect the main line. This is the main line, and then these are the allowances we added. Hope you understand. Please, if you find any part of this tutorial confusing, kindly drop a question on the comment section below, please too. All right, so we are done with this. We are going to at this time create our armhole area. Okay, so this is the armhole. Do not forget, from the upper shoulders to the chest line is our armhole area. So you're going to place your tape rule from the slanted line down here. Whatever you have, you divide it by 2. Right now we have 7, so if we divide 7 by 2, it's going to give us 3.5. So you make a mark, you know, on the midpoint, and then at that midpoint you come in by 0.75, which is of course quarter of an inch, and also make a mark there. You carry your curve, you place it like this, and then you connect. This is for the front armhole. We are also going to, this is for the front armhole. Okay, this eliminates every form of bulge or excesses you may have, you know, at that armhole area in front. Hope you understand. Yes, that is what this does. Okay, then the back armhole is this. The back armhole, you don't get to deduct anything. Okay, so that is it. This is the front, and then this is the back. Okay, so we are done with the front. We are done with our basic bodies. This is actually how to draft a basic body. After drafting, you just place it on your fabric, put your fabric into to place it on it and cut out and continue to sew. But before we do that, before we go ahead to cut, we will come to this shoulder area and increase it by 0.5 inch. That is for our sewing allowance. Okay, like this, and then you connect it like this. Okay, and also connect it like this. So we are just going to cut it out now. So you will first of all cut the back armhole before the front armhole. Okay, so we have to split this area open. The other piece is for our back panel, because we have to do some modification, you know, at the back area. But we need a line, this chest line at the back area. So I'm just going to use my tracing wheel to trace it. Okay, then we can continue cutting. I just remembered something, you know, we only drafted, you know, the neckline for the front panel. The neckline for the back panel, okay, it is if you want it to be this deep. But if you do not want it to be this deep, all you need is a 1 inch. Okay, you come down by 1 inch for the back panel, you know. You connect it this way, you know. Hope you understand. The back panel, the neckline is oftentimes higher than the front neckline. Okay, if you want the back neckline to be higher than the front, you are doing a 1 inch at the back neckline, and then 3 inches depth at the front, 1 inch depth for the back, and 3 inch depth for the front. Please do not forget. So this is the front panel and this is the back panel. So at this point we are going to cut a front armhole line. So we are done with the front bodies. We are going to do a bit of modification to the back bodies. Okay, this is our chest line. That's a chest line. So we are going to measure our measure distance between busts area like we did in the on the front panel, so that we can have our back dart. And connect. So you come down by 1 inch. Hope you understand. You deduct your 0.5. But before we do the darts here, I would like to show you something, okay? If you have realized or have discovered that most time when you fix your zippers, you know, on your blouses, especially you know around the waist area, most times or sometimes there's usually this bulge, you know, around that waist area. Okay, when you fix your zipper, you can actually eliminate that bulge. There are actually different things to do, but let me just show you one, okay, because this is just a basic bodice pattern. So you come down here, you know, at this waist area, and you mark out 1 inch. You can do 0.75, you can do 1 inch, okay? Let's use 1 inch, and then you connect it to this point. So we are going to cut out this part now. So right now this is our new waistline by length. So we can now do our deduction. And okay, so I didn't know my video went off, but let me explain what I did here. So remember, we cut out, you know, that's area to eliminate bulge, you know, at the back waist area when we fix our zip. So I came, this is the darts area, so I came out by 0.5, which is for the darts, and then I connected it to create our darts, and our patterns are ready. So thank you so very much for staying tuned. We appreciate you. Without you, there will be no fashion boss. Kindly do go to follow us on our social media handle. On Facebook, we have we have a Facebook group at Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. Join the group. It's a group where we talk about our fashion concerns. We drop tutorial videos. You know, you ask questions and answers are being profiled to you. Follow us on our Facebook page at Fashion Boss Innovations Academy, on Instagram at Fashion Boss, we're on TikTok at Fashion Boss. We are everywhere. And then yeah, on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe. Stay tuned as we see you, you know, in the next video. Bye for now.